you're this man, and you're this man too. 1, 2, hit it!
The 8-Count Boxing Hour is on the air. I'm your host, Dan Cisneros, and tonight we're going to bring you the fights from October 12th, 1994. That was the big night that ESPN came to town. The Johnny Tapia Henry Martinez undercard for the world title. And 3 fights that did not make the ESPN broadcast. We have been granted the permission by Top Rank Incorporated to bring you those fights. And right now you're looking at the first one. This is Robbie Lovato out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Robbie, a former Golden Gloves champion for the state of New Mexico, will be making his pro debut, and there is his opponent out of Los Lunas, New Mexico. That's Chris Crespin. Chris Crespin with a record of 4-9-3 with 2 KOs. Sub 500 record, but don't underestimate him. He has kind of become the standard by which all boxers are measured. You've got to get past Chris Crespin if you want to move in to the big league. So right now we're going to take a look at a 4-round fight. These are junior featherweights. Chris Crespin out of Los Lunas, New Mexico in the blue. Robbie Lovato making his pro debut out of Santa Fe, New Mexico. Robbie is an excellent boxer. Chris Crespin is a tough warrior. And we're going to have a tough fight on our hands and 2 others to follow. And right now let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer with the call. Okay, both men are ready to go. Referee Al Martinez in control of this bout. And we're in the Pitt University Arena here, the home of the Lobos. And round 1 is underway. Robbie Lovato in the black trunks with the white trim around the bottom there. And his opponent, Chris Crespin, in the blue trunks with the white trim. And you see the 2 mixing it up now. Robbie Lovato probably nervous. These are his first professional punches. There's a good little right hand that gets in now by Robbie. Crespin holds on. Chris Crespin doesn't back up. He's aggressive, and Robbie again scoring with that good left hand. Robbie Lovato with very fast hands. He's a fine boxer. This was actually the final bout of the night here. We have just concluded with that world title fight. Johnny Tapia winning the WBO super flyweight title from Henry Martinez. And a lot of fans sticking around here. We had an estimated crowd of probably 11,000 people in the building here. And a lot of them went home, but quite a few are staying here to see Robbie Lovato out of Santa Fe taking on Los Lunas, New Mexico's Chris Crespin. The 2 are mixing it up pretty well now. Both men are right-handers. And again, you see Lovato trying to get going with that jab. He wants to establish the jab, comes back with some good rights. Crespin now answers back. Both men are very busy. Lovato with those good fast hands now, landing, scoring with some good shots to the head. Again, Lovato scoring. Robbie Lovato was the chief sparring partner for Johnny Tapia, so the 2 prepared each other for these fights. And of course, Johnny winning that world title. And Robbie Lovato giving him some real good sparring. Again, you see Lovato sticking and moving a little bit, doing some real nice boxing. He's being... The man in his corner is Chris Linson, former pro boxer. And again, Lovato scoring with some good shots with both hands. Robbie Lovato looking real nice, real slick tonight. Both men working hard on the inside, referee Al Martinez. Again, you see Lovato trying to keep the jab going. He's been doing good with it. I think he's going to stick with his game plan. Crespin now tries to go to the body. Oh, there's a good little left snuck in there by Lovato. Robbie's a real speed dealer. He'll move his hands with lightning speed. Coming up on this broadcast tonight on the 8-Count Boxing Hour, David Robinson takes on Rio Rancho, New Mexico's own Irish Sean McLean, the thunderous punching of Sean McLean. But right now you're looking at Crespin and Lovato. It's been a good round for Robbie so far, his first round as a professional. Again, Robbie with both hands. Combination punching by Robbie Lovato. And there's the bell to end the first round. Good action, both men working hard, and I think Robbie Lovato has won his first round as a professional. We're looking in the corner now of Chris Crespin out of Las Lunas, New Mexico. Chris coming in at 121 pounds. Crespin is kind of the man that his motto would be, have gloves, will travel. He gets a lot of these fights on late notice, so he stays sharp in the gym, as sharp as he can, but really he doesn't get the early notice that he would like to have to train for some of his fights, and he just answers the call and he gets into the ring and gives it all he has. Chris is a fine kickboxer as well, and you've seen him on most of the local shows. Chris Crespin, one of the popular fighters with promoters, because he has gloves and will travel. Just about ready now for round two. Dan Cisneros at ringside. You're watching the 8-Count Boxing Hour here on Community Cable Channel 27 in Albuquerque. And the man in the black trunks is Robbie Lovato, his opponent Chris Crespin in the blue. And now Crespin trying to reach Lovato, but Lovato's slick. Moves out of the way and then ties up now. Spins off the ropes and comes back with a shot. Robbie Lovato showing some real nice boxing. Ooh, and Crespin sneaks a little right hand in there. Lovato answers back. There's a good left, and Robbie kind of dips to the right and digs with a right hand. Robbie Lovato looking pretty sharp tonight. Robbie, who is a fine amateur boxer, now making his move into the professionals. And again, New Mexico is producing some real talent. And it just seems to get better and better, and Robbie looks like a good prospect. Chris Crespin's been a pro for a few years now, fighting some real good fighters. I mean, he has been in with Eddie Hobson and some good fighters, even the locals like Laurent Warrior. And Crespin has just been in there with all of them. Oh, and he takes some shots there from Robbie Lovato, but Chris comes back swinging. Again, Lovato with the jab right hand, moving both hands, scoring well. Robbie Lovato just staying busy. Good clean punches from Robbie. I don't know what kind of power he has, but he's really got his technique down. I like the way he moves. He's a good-looking boxer. I believe Robbie Lovato is going to be managed by Paul Chavez, the man who guided Johnny Tapia to the world title. Paul Chavez, one of Albuquerque's favorite people in the boxing world. He's been very loyal to Johnny, and it's paid off as the two have combined to put Albuquerque on the map, winning that world title. And again, you see Robbie scoring. But Crespin comes forward. He doesn't back up. And Chris Crespin takes a pretty good shot, too. Professional boxing from the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The undercard. These are the fights that ESPN did not broadcast. So you're going to get to see the whole card. If you saw that ESPN broadcast, now you're going to see the other half of the show. Again, Robbie scoring with some good fast hands, sharp punches. I like what I see. Both men have been busy. Not a whole lot of clinching, real good boxing on both parts. But Robbie Lovato just seems to have a little more hand speed, and he's able to stay busier. Oh, and and Crespin could have let go with that rabbit punch, but he held back. A good sportsmanship on his part. And that ends round 2, so this bout is halfway over. 2 good rounds in the book in my scorecard, on my scorecard anyway, for Robbie Lovato. And we look into the corner of Robbie now, and the man with his back to you is former professional boxer Chris Linson, who was a heck of a fighter in his day. Now he's training fighters up in Santa Fe, and his son is another fine amateur prospect out of New Mexico. That would be Chris Jr., JC. And Robbie has got to be feeling pretty good. Everything he's doing is working pretty well. And I think he's got 2 rounds in the book here. A little later on, we'll be showing you the David Robinson-Sean McLean fight from this same card. And we also have the other match of the night. It was a heavyweight match featuring Sir Jab-A-Lot, Keith McMurray, out of Sacramento, California, taking on a man from the Canadian Olympic team. That would be Kirk Johnson, who is undefeated with a lot of knockouts, and he's a real heavyweight to keep your eye on. We'll see him in action tonight as well. Right now, we're underway in round 3. A good crowd here tonight. As I look around, they say about 8,000 or 9,000 paid, and I'll bet you there's closer to 12,000 in the building, at least during the Johnny Tapia and Danny Romero fights. This place was rocking. And right now the crowd kind of settled down as these 2 youngsters getting in there and mixing it up in this 4-round walkout bout. But you can see in the background there are a lot of people staying. They're really getting their money's worth out of this show. Top Rank has really put on a super show here tonight. And boy, Albuquerque is just on fire when it comes to boxing. Again, Robbie Lovato sneaking in that right hand. He punches in combinations, and something usually lands. There you see Crespin holding on and trying to come back with some body shots. Again, Lovato with combination punching. 1, 2, 3, 4. And most of them are landing. He's a sharp puncher, and he's staying busy, winning the rounds. Mr. Linson in the corner has to be happy with what he's seen out of Robbie Lovato right now. And you'll see Crespin, he has a lot of heart. He won't get discouraged. He keeps coming forward and punching. Crespin in his last fight, last time he was seen live here in Albuquerque, scored an impressive win over Martin Ochoa. And Crespin really had a hard fight on his hands, but he came out on top in that one. Now you see Lovato with a little bit of side-to-side movement. And then he sticks the jab in there. Crespin with a right hand. And the 2 tie up. We're in the 3rd round, scheduled for 4. Again, Lovato with those fast hands. And Crespin tries to come back over the top and misses. Again, Robbie moving around, trying to get an angle. Oh, a good left hand now from Robbie Lovato. And Crespin tries to chop him overhand with a right. And again, Lovato with those 4-punch combinations, doing some real fine boxing technique. And there's a 10-second clicker. I think we got another round in the books here for Robbie Lovato in the black trunks. Crespin now on the attack, but the bell rings, so Crespin with a little flurry at the end there, but I believe another round in the books for Santa Fe, New Mexico's Robbie Lovato. So we look into the corner now. Johnny Cedillos is the trainer. That's John Cedillos, who you see there working on his charge. That's Chris Crespin. I believe he's down 3 rounds to none, but he has not embarrassed himself. He's doing real fine. Hanging in there with an excellent boxer. Again, you're watching action from the undercard of the big night that ESPN Top Rank brought a show that we'll never forget here. Danny Romero winning that NABF Super Flyweight title from Marcos Bang Bang Pacheco, and Danny looking impressive, doing it in style and punishing Pacheco. They had to stop that fight between the 6th and 7th round as Danny Romero, typical Danny Romero, just punishing his opponent and beating him into submission. And then you have the flashy, razzle-dazzle style of Johnny Tapia, sending this crowd into a frenzy as he wins the WBO world title. And this crowd has really spent a lot of energy tonight, but right now they're just kind of kicking back and watching these two young fighters, Crespin and Robbie Lovato. Lovato in the black trunks, Crespin in the blue. Robbie staying busier. It's his pro debut. And if he can just keep going like that, like he's doing right now in this round, he could be 1-0 as a pro. Robbie really landing some shots and now moving all over the place, and Crespin's just trying to pin him down. Robbie comes back with that left hand. Again, sticking the jab in there. Crespin would just like to measure him and catch him with something. Robbie Lovato, a real slickster. This is a good fight for Robbie to have for his opening fight, because Crespin will really bring some stuff to the ring and make you work. And we're finding out right now that Robbie Lovato looks like a fine prospect, because he's doing outstanding against a good fighter like Crespin. Oh, that wicked uppercut snuck in by Robbie Lovato. And now Crespin comes back with his two-handed attack. Robbie very smartly ties him up. Robbie Lovato with some good ring savvy. He just moves naturally. He's a natural. He moves like a boxer. And again, Robbie Lovato stings Crespin with a right hand. Robbie trying to get that right hand in there, comes up a little short. Again, he comes back with that two-handed attack. Moving both hands. That's paying dividends for him. Winning the rounds for him. Staying busy. Again, he slams that right hand to the head of Crespin. Robbie Lovato looks like he's having fun in there right now. He's really warmed up. The crowd now kind of getting into it. You can hear them in the background. They're enjoying this one. Robbie Lovato really giving his fans a show. 10 seconds to go in this match now. Crespin desperate, and Lovato just kind of ties him up. Maybe time for one more shot. And that ends the fight. A good 4-round match. Robbie Lovato and Crespin, the pro debut of Robbie Lovato. And according to the 8-count boxing hour, we've got him well on his way as a pro, 1-0, if the judges agree with us. Crespin doing fine, but really being outworked by the busier and a little bit quicker Robbie Lovato. Don't forget, we got 2 more pro fights coming up for you from the same card, the same big night of boxing here at the pit. And if we have time, we'll even squeeze in an amateur fight featuring South San Jose Community Center's J.R. Montoya. So we had 4 rounds for Robbie, looking at our scorecard right here. And I think it would probably match up with the judges. You never know what they saw, sitting in a different position, but I think Robbie Lovato definitely outscoring his opponent, Crespin. And let's go to Michael Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, all 3 judges, Rocky Burke. And now, the evidence for the belt 40 to 36 for the winner by unanimous decision, winning his professional debut.
Robbie Lovato, with all 3 judges scoring it for him in every round, so he's never lost a round as a pro, you could say. And congratulations to Robbie Lovato on winning his professional debut here on the 8 Count Boxing Hour.